Today we're having a chat because I've been so busy with exams and revision and everything that's been going on in the last few weeks of uni that I did not prepare a video to upload today. Also, at the same time, I have some trousers that I bought a couple of days ago, and me being small, they're super long on me, so I'm just taking them up. So we're halfway through that process. I should probably introduce the video. We're going to be talking about first year at uni. I've just had my exams and this marks the end of my first year at uni. I am at Keele and I study a major minor degree, and it's physics with physical geography. So I thought I'd give you a little bit of a review of the first year of university. Let's get going. I think I was really well prepared to come to university. I've always been pretty organised. I physically was like totally ready. I packed super early. I was organised with everything. I knew what was going on. I had been and sorted out my own student bank account, which I think is really important to do. I do know people who have been without a student bank account and just used their own, and it's worked for them. Some of them it hasn't. I opened a nationwide bank account just because it seemed like you don't get all the fancy perks of other bank accounts. I can't remember why, but I picked Nationwide. I used the banking app, which is the most useful thing. I use it every day. I've always been good with money because I've always been tight and I've liked to save for things, but especially at uni, I've learned more about budgeting because obviously you get all your money in one go, like each semester. Once you've had that money, there's nothing until the next semester, so you have to really learn to budget and know where your money is, how much you have, how long it's going to last you. Just doing this. I think we should talk about Freshers Week. So you get to uni, and I think it's important to move in as soon as possible so that you can meet your flatmates and stop stressing about them, because I was a little bit worried that I wouldn't like anybody that would be in my flat with me, but it turns out when you get here that everybody is feeling the same and everybody's a little bit nervous and awkward to start with. It's nice to have such a diverse group as well. A lot of my flatmates have learned to be open-minded this year. Also, I don't think it's something you need to worry about because everybody's feeling the same, and especially in Freshers Week, everybody's trying to make friends. So in your flat, people will be like, oh, let's order a pizza tonight, and you'll all see each other and spend some time together, and whether you end up being friends with them or not, you're not going to be alone. And it's always nice if you do. It's always nice to talk to them so that if you think, oh, I'd love to go to the Students' Union today, but I'm feeling a bit like nervous to go on my own, you can say, does anybody want to come? I think I'd have found it a lot more difficult to live off campus in first year just because you're spending all your time getting used to everything. I've loved it that I can roll out of bed in the morning and pull on clothes and just go to my lecture, and I'll be awake for like 15-20 minutes before my lecture. I love that. And I know that next year I'm going to have to get up, get dressed, get the bus. It's going to be ages, but I've just enjoyed that because for sixth form I used to have to leave my house really early to get to sixth form, so it's been like a little treat year for me that I can get up so late. Yeah, it's been really useful, especially like when I haven't planned ahead properly about what I'm going to eat for lunch. I've just been able to pop back between lectures because my accommodation is 6 minutes walk from the physics building, and when I've got an hour's break I can make some pasta or a sandwich, or I've got time. Another thing about uni that I've absolutely loved this year is coming self-catered. When looking at unis, I know my parents especially were encouraging me to go catered because then obviously they would be absolutely sure that I would be getting good meals a couple of times a day, but I knew that I really wanted to come self-catered because I love cooking things and making things, and I love having that control over what I eat and when I eat. So if I want to eat breakfast at 1 o'clock, I can. Whereas if you go catered, obviously you've got to be at the food hall at certain times. I love it because although I have to budget for food, I stand by the fact that I can feed myself for a week on cheaper than I could do it catered. And I love buying my fresh vegetables and my fresh fruits and making things. And if I want dodgy combinations, if I fancy noodles and corn chicken nuggets, I can have the noodles and corn chicken nuggets and nobody says anything, except sometimes my flatmates judge me a little bit for it. Oh, I was talking about making friends, and I know a lot of people stress on in the first few weeks of uni that they're not going to make any friends, which is just like so sad. People should be more confident in themselves. There's so much to do, there are so many different ways to meet people. Everybody makes friends, everybody has someone to talk to. So whether it's from meeting someone in the shop to making friends with someone that you might do a sport with, or someone in your flat, or maybe someone who you sit next to in lectures. Everybody ends up with friends and it's not a worry. Talking about lectures, I should probably talk about the course. Physics, my course, is so intense. When choosing unis, I thought it was really important to get the most contact hours possible out of the lecturers, because I thought, well, if I'm paying £9,000, I want to get my money's worth. Now, if that's something you're doing, I think you need to think about how you're going to feel about that in the future. So me personally, it's okay, I absolutely love being busy. If I didn't have this many lectures, I'd just go stir crazy. But I know people who prefer to do independent study and stuff like that, and it would kill them to do this many lectures. So I get like some crazy number of hours a week compared to some of my flatmates, and I love it. It keeps me sane. I mean, if you are someone like me who loves to be busy, absolutely go for it. Try and find a course and a uni where you get a lot of contact hours. But if you're not, then that's something you need to think about, because you're paying £9,000 and you need to be happy with what you're getting, and you need to be not wanting to drop out because it's insanely too much for you. Just a comparison, I found in the first few weeks of uni that a lot of people dropped out of doing physical geography. They either dropped out or they switched courses, but in physics we all, I think, pretty much are still there. Personally, I chose physical geography because physics isn't allowed to be a single honours course yet. We have to make it a dual honours. I don't know when that's going to change, but I thought that for how much I loved Keele, that was a good trade-off. So I picked my second favourite subject at school, which was geography. My favourite part of geography is physical, so I just picked that and put that as my second subject. Anywhere else, I was just going to take physics on its own. I am glad that I took physical geography because it's an essay subject, and I've learned a lot in fieldwork sessions, and also our assessments are essays, and it's a good skill to keep up, I think. Whereas if I'd have done physics, the only extended writing I have to do is lab reports, and it's not quite the same. So whilst essays are stressful, I am still glad that I picked an essay subject as my second. The course at uni is a lot more intense than I originally expected. I didn't think it would be so. I don't know. It's not so hard, but I didn't think it would be so much. I didn't think there would be so much to learn. That's why it's so intense. So what is my hair doing? I think the step up from GCSE to A-level is massive, and the one from A-level to uni isn't that big. So if the step up from GCSE to A-level is this, A-level to uni is like this. It's not so big at all. It is a step up, but in difficulty it's not that much. I think where the step up has come in is that there is so much to learn. There's always so much new stuff to understand, learn, figure out, memorise, whatever. There's just so much to do. And then on top of that, you've got assignments, problem sheets, lab sessions, and then we've got to do all the analysis behind the scenes in our bedrooms. And then we've just got so much to do. Problem sheets, our assignments in physics, we get 2 weeks to do them, and it's not like you can sit there for the 2 weeks and do it in the last few days. Our physics assignments are so difficult that we take the 2 weeks. It is intense. It is a difficult subject. I am personally so proud to be doing physics because it's such a difficult subject, and I'm doing pretty well, so that's good. I don't know what my end of year grade is yet, obviously, because I've only just finished exams, but fingers crossed. At Easter, we had to pack up our rooms and go home, and they let out our rooms to, I think it's businesses, and they came and stayed here for the 3 weeks that we had to go home. And I think it was just like, so they can come and have conferences at uni. That was the most annoying thing, because you get all your rooms set up all lovely and you've got all your pictures up and everything's exactly how you want it. I've got my fairy lights up, I've got like strings of pictures, I've got posters, I've got all sorts, and then you have to move out for 3 weeks, and it's just sad because everything's perfect, and then you have to leave it and take it all down and take it home. And it was a nightmare to have all of my uni stuff and all of my home stuff just in my bedroom at home. Like, there was just so much stuff, it was like falling over it constantly. So I don't know how I'm going to feel over the summer with that. But this isn't going to be a problem for next year, because we're going to be in a house I'm sharing with 2 friends, Daisy and Lucy, and we don't have to move out at all, so that's going to be grand. I definitely recommend joining a society or something like that at uni, doing a sport, whatever you can, because uni isn't just about coming to study. Like, okay, a lot of your time is spent studying, this is what you're paying to do, it's very important, but you need to do other things as well. I get all excited about societies, and whenever I start somewhere new, so when I went to a new school for sixth form, and again when I came to uni, I join everything pretty much. It's really bad. But then obviously you have to figure out how much time you have, what you're actually wanting to do a lot, like what's the most important to you, what you can afford to do. So for example, I almost joined the cheerleading squad, but they wanted me at practice 3 times a week for 2 hours a time, and it was very expensive. And personally, I couldn't do that because I hadn't come into the year thinking I'm going to do cheerleading, so I hadn't budgeted for it. And also, it was a lot of time that I couldn't commit because I do such an intense course. I needed that time for assignments, so that didn't work. But I think it's important to do something that I do every week, sometimes twice a week, depending how busy I am, is I go to the observatory and I volunteer there. So I get a little name badge and a high vis, and I've learned all about the observatory. So I now give tours, and if there's a group that want to know something, I can give them a little talk and I can answer all their questions, and we just talk about physics and astrophysics and all sorts. And through doing that, I've made friends. I've made a few friends at the observatory. Instead of just talking to people my age or around about my age, who I'd usually see in lectures, I also speak to the physicists who run the observatory, so that's really good. I find it really interesting. We've got a group of engineers who also help volunteer at the observatory. I think it's interesting to talk to them and talk to different people. Actually, last night was my last time at the observatory until I get back to uni in September, and it was great. The observatory is one of my most valued things from coming to uni, so that's one of the main reasons that I came to Keele, because none of the other unis I'd been to had an observatory. And at the open day I came and I was talking to the engineers and the physicists and the astrophysicists that run it, and I just knew that this is where I wanted to be. So that's how I got involved with it. Oh, by the way, I think I just finished my trousers, so I just need to turn my iron on so I can finish ironing them. I'm going out tonight, so I think I'm going to wear them. Also at Keele, I love being outdoors, and I've really enjoyed walking around campus this year, and I mean, there are still places now that I'm discovering. It's amazing. It's like, it's such a tiny little campus in terms of where everything is, so all the buildings are really close together, and everything's just set up in one place, but then all the way around the outside it's just green. So we've got an arboretum, lakes, we've got all sorts, we've got a forest, there's so much going on, and I just love it so much. And it's become a stress relief thing for me. After each exam this last few weeks, I've been just going for a walk around campus because it's such a nice place to be. I think that's something important to take into account when you're looking for a uni to go to. Where are you going to enjoy being? Do you want to be in a bustling city? Is that your thing? Do you want to be able to walk everywhere? Do you want to be getting the train to uni? Or maybe you want to be on a campus like me and you love being out in the green and you like that there are horses and animals around. Maybe you want that campus in a city. That can happen too. So like a built-up version of campus. Maybe you are most comfortable staying at home and you're going to commute to uni. Plenty of people do that. I'm so happy that I didn't, because I feel like my university experience has been enriched so much by living here. You have so much more space, you've got time to yourself, it's private, but it feels a lot more independent. Yeah, I've just done my exams for the end of first year. I'm not sure how they went. Now the plan is to relax and to enjoy being at uni without anything to stress about, because I haven't had that feeling since Freshers Week. I finished on Monday, it's now Wednesday. Yesterday I did absolutely nothing productive. I went to yoga, I went to the observatory, I just enjoyed myself. Today I'm doing this, I'm doing my trousers. I plan on maybe doing some art in a bit. And then later tonight I'm going out with my friends. We are meeting up for possibly the last time this year. We are going to the Scruffy Squirrel, which is one of our pubs on campus. We're going to have pizza and I think it's going to be wine, but if I'm being a cheapo then cider it is. And that's the plan for today. I've got a posturing class tomorrow, that should be fun. I'm just enjoying it. I'm so glad that I came to uni, and so happy that I chose to come to Keele. It was definitely the right choice for me. Now I'm going home on Saturday and it's going to be great to see everybody, but I'll miss it and I can't wait to be back. Thank you for listening to my chat today and I'll see you next week.